Hello, hello. Hmm. Huh? Oh. Hey, I can. पानी भी नहीं तो बहुत. Hello, good evening all. Hello, good evening all. Now this sounds better. So, respected dignitaries on the dais, esteemed speaker of the today's session, CMA Vinod Patodia sir, office bearers, members and students, and dear participants, a very good evening to all of you. On behalf of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, Pimpinchur chapter, it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all for the today's CEP seminar on cost management strategies for the business revival. In today's dynamic and uncertain business environment, cost is not merely a number in the books, but it is a strategic lever. Because right now, if we see, world is a cost competitive, and now the focus on the cost is much important than the selling price. So, considering this, in the today's era, organization that understands cost deeply, manage it scientifically and technically, and align it with the certain creation are the ones that not only survive disruption but also are emerging as a stronger one in the competitive market. This seminar is thoughtfully designed to provide the practical insights into the smart expense optimization, effective resource allocation, and the operational efficiency framework that drives the sustainable revival of the business. We are truly privileged to have with us an accomplished industry leader, CMA Vinod Patodia sir, Plant Finance Controller at Danfoss. Earlier it was known as a Eaton Fluid Power Limited. With his vast experience in the plant finance, strategic cost control, we are confident that today's session will be rich with practical learning, real life examples and actionable strategies. So with this, I'll request our chapter chairman, CMA Balakrishna Hazare ji, to felicitate our today's speaker, CMA Vinod Patodia sir. Sir. Now I request our senior member to give the trophy to. I will request our vice chairman of this chapter to give the. Now the sapling. Yeah. I also extend my sincere appreciation to our chapter chairman, office bearers and the management committee members and the entire organizing team whose dedicated efforts have made this seminar possible. Now to all our members and the students, thank you for your consistent enthusiasm and commitment to the professional excellence. Your presence marks the or reflects the spirit of the continuous learning that defines us the true cost and management accountant. As we are going to begin this session, I encourage everyone to actively engage, ask questions as many you have, and make the most out of this 2-hour session. Let this not be the only seminar or one-way dialogue. All we call it as a monologue. It should be a dialogue, which we could utilize to reflect, learn, and transform ourselves. Once again, I warmly welcome to all of you and wish you a insightful and enriching evening ahead. So, sir, over to you.
नहीं हाँ ओके सो ठीक है नो प्रॉब्लम ठीक है Sure. Okay. Good. Let me switch off my phone, or I'll just put it on the silent mode. Okay. I'll prefer to stand, but if anything is required, or I'll sit down and anything is required, I can answer it. And I have created, the topic was interesting. There are a lot of things which can be talk about this particular topic, but if you feel that you need something more or some more clarification, or you think that those topics we can move it out, we can move it, because there are multiple slides are there. In the interest of time, we'll try to cover everything. So, good evening to all. Should we start? Okay, good. Thank you. So, when we are talking of the cost management strategies business revival, why do we need it? Why do we need it? Because if you are seeing that we have many new startups are coming in, there are many challenges are there with the MSME vendors. And if you see, in India there are more than 2 lakh stock SIC units are there, and they are growing by 28% annually in terms of the number of units. So the SIC units are growing day by day. Yes, there may be, and I'll cover it into my subsequent slides why this is happening, because it's a VUCA world is there, tariff is going on, there are uncertainties are there in the market, many things are changing, the interstate, those when it is somebody who is taking up the speed, he can cover, somebody who is not going with the speeds, he will not be able to cover it up. Now when we go to the academic field surveys, it shows that the highest distress levels, a study of 65 industrial units, it shows that they experienced sickness due to financial mismanagement. So out of all the issues, financial mismanagement was one of the issues which we could find out. So we try to see from the costing standpoint of view, how do we improve that on these financial issues which we have come across. And then hundreds and thousands of units are there, they are still facing the revival of challenges. Now if you go to the MSMEs, the sectors, the large number of MSMEs shut down each year due to the financial distress and NPAs, and the jobs are major in the industry. In the industries we are seeing it karke. And then based on the viability studies, the small scale industries have 90% non-viability, high closure rates. And then again it is IBC filings and corporate sector. Thousands of closures are happening each year since 2017. So I just wanted to give a background that why the survival is necessary and what we should do it to improve upon it. Now, थोड़ा सा ऐसे टूल था. Okay. ठीक है, it's there. Okay. Now, before we start with the actual things as to how we can do the survival or what we can do it, I think the basic core elements which we should be aware of it, which is like a business acumen. We should be knowing it business. If we don't do the business, we will not be due to any strategies you do it, you will not be able to successful. To know the successful, you should know the business. And when we say that it is, we don't want to expect that it is a completely technical knowledge has to be there, but we should know how the business works, what it works karke. And then we should have the knowledge, skills and experience, enabling individuals to understand and navigate the complexities of the business. So, we are talking about the complexities. The complexities should improve, and we should work on the complexities. The more and more complexities are removed from the business will be better. Second line, if you see, it is about the bigger picture. We should see the bigger picture. Right now, if you see anywhere when we are going, okay, we are giving the exam just to pass. No, that's not the case. It should not be the case that just to pass the examinations I am studying it. Once the examination is passed, then I get a job and then I got into the my earning starts. That should not be the case. You should see down the line after 10 years what I can do it. Down the line, if AI comes, what I can do it. How I will perform in future, that is more important. So you should have a proper planning, full planning should be there. And then grasping how the various parts of the company functions interact, indulge and aligning the actions and achievements on strategies, goal and profitability. So to align, there has to be a strategic goal, 5 to 10 years where you would like to see the company. What are the products are there you are into it, how it will grow in future. Does that particular product line has an importance, or the like, for example, when we talk about automobile, we are seeing that the manual transmissions are going away, it is coming with the electronics. The moment electrical EVs are started, now we are talking of hydrogen. So we have to see, like if we are investing it, if we are doing the activities, how long it will continue, what will be the structure, does it really happen, does it really see that the vehicles business will go down, or it will have an impact down the line. So you have to start investing in, you have to start making a strategies, and you have to start focusing on those products that will help business to survive further. Elements: financial literacy, operational management, strategic thinking, market awareness, problem solving, decision making, leadership, communication. Because in any of the issues, communication is the must. So if you see the financial literacy, it allows individual to analyze the financial statement. So you should be able to understand the financial statement before you get into your activities or action plans for survival of the unit. Operational management, you should know optimization. What does optimization means? You should see which are the parts. Say, last 10 years I was driving a product in a particular fashion. I'm doing, say, bringing raw material, I'm doing a job work, then I'm sending it, then I'm processing it, again bringing back in the factories, again then I'm doing the finished goods. So you should see whether that makes sense for us. What you can do it, instead of doing that activities, you can do some outsourcing of the product, which can go for the vendors, and you remove some of the, you can keep some of the critical aspects within the factory. That way what you are doing it, you are reducing the scale. You are reducing the risk in the factory, you are able to manage quickly with the vendor third party. So you should know optimization of the processes, whether really that process is required, number one. If required, then whether we can get it done from the outside at the lower cost. And the third thing is that keep the critical machines in the plant so that you can add the capacities within the same existing space. So then comes the managing resources. Again, managing resources means same. Within the available space, within the available people, you should be maximize the operations. You should be able to make a profitable business within the organization. Improving productivity. Productivity is a key in any industries. So improving productivity means what? You had a particular product which is getting manufactured in a particular way. There are waste which is generated during the manufacturing of a product. Now waste in the sense, the setup times are there. The waste in the sense, people might be taking some rest. The waste in the sense, the product is heavier and people are not able to cope up with the, or they are not able to handle the equipment with those machines. So what you have to do it? You can do, like you can have some fixtures developed. You can create some material handling equipments so that the people who is handling those products in the machines, they can be assured they will not get, they will not have any problem in handling the machines, and you can increase the productivity. They will not have to take the rest after that particular product has been loaded on the machines. So those type of things you can put it into the productivity and improve. So wherein if you are in 8 hours, if you are manufacturing 10 parts, you can manufacture 12 parts. What happens? Your cost is reducing. Ultimately, bottom line will improve. It can reduce your sales price. You can be a competitive in the market. You can sell more product in the market. You take the more businesses, your cost further goes down, because when we talk about fixed cost is always allocated based on the total manufacturing and total sales. Now when we say that sales is increasing, your percentage will reduce. It will give you further leverage in improving your financials. So that way, we should know it, what is the operational managements are there, and how the gaps can be brought down in the operations management. That is one of the aspects which can help. Third is strategic thinking. Ability to think long term. So we have to think long term. We should not be thinking, okay, ये machine breakdown हो गया अभी क्या करना है करके. That is not the case. We have to think long term. How do I do whether that particular equipment is capable of producing the goods for next 10 years or 15 years. Those are the things which we should take it करके. Then anticipating market trends. How the market is saying. I have given the example of EVs and the mechanical transmissions and electronic transmissions. So we have to see करके how the market is going to behave in future. Competitive landscape. Again, we are opening the market. There are the agreements are happening between the two countries to move the goods from one country to another country. How this is happening? Because that is adding the competitive landscapes. So today, if you are talking of Tesla, the Tesla is becoming now costly compared to the car which is coming from China. Okay, so that way you have to see how the competitive landscape will be there. Really, it is interested whether we should be doing it or whether we should not be doing it. So those are the things which you should be aware of when you are talking of going for the revival of the particular business. And then develop the plans, market awareness, industry trends, customer needs, competitor activities, emerging technologies. Of course, the technology is very important. Today, everybody is talking of IoT. Internet of Things, the machines which are now the big industries they are buying are all interfaced with the IT. Because today I have seen the machines which are coming, those are directing you. Once you feed the processes, those are directing you that if you are missing a one process, the machine is not taking the next step. So when the precision components are manufactured, you have to go for such type of machines which can give you a database. Number two is there. If suppose you are not investing in IT assets, if there are some defects which are passed on to the customer, and customer is coming after 2 years or 3 years when their vehicles are breakdown, and then if they are doing a recall where they must have sold the products across India or maybe across world. So the cost is borne by the plant whether you can sustain that. So you have to think through, and for that you should always think of what are the latest technologies which are coming in the market. You should see and how you can best adopt those technologies. Problem solving in decision making, ability to identify the issue. See, issues can be resolved, but we should identify it. We should understand the issues, what issues are there. And then develop the solutions, make it timely, informal choices even when incomplete information is available. Decision making is important. Then leadership and communication, strong leadership skill, inspiring and guiding. Today inspiration is more important. We should be inspiring when we are saying yes, we can do it. You should not be negative one कि नहीं वो तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम है नहीं होगा करके. Should not be there. You should go and say yes, we can do it. How we can do it? Come together and motivate the teams. Team motivation is important because one person cannot do anything. I have one quote which I kept it. If you go by one person, then you will just run it. But if you go with the team, you can scale it high. And then while the effective communication, ensure the ideas are conveyed clearly to the stakeholders, fostering the collaboration and alignment. Everybody should be together, and then we should have the collaboration and then alignment. I am going a little fast because I will be covering the individual topics again in my separate discussion. Now, how do we do that? Freeze हो गया. Yes, developing a business acumen. Now, focus on continuous learning. Stay updated with industry trends, same thing. Seek mentorship. Learning from external professionals, internal or external. Engage in diverse experiences, cross-functional projects, job rotations, even entrepreneurial endeavors can provide the valuable perspectives and hands-on experience. Understand company's business model, how the company is working, what are missions are there, goals are there. So basically you should know what the business we are into. Talk to the customers and participate in strategic thinking. This will help for understanding the entire business for anyone who is working on it. I'm not sure how many of you have heard this word. This is today's scenario is like this only. VUCA. We always talk about VUCA world, which is nothing but the volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous. Completely volatile it is there. Many of you would have invested in silver and gold. You should be enjoying the VUCA world. Right? And even the investment is like that only. Today if you see, now again yesterday's you might have heard it about the tariff. The code is said that the tariff is illegal, and then this president is again putting another 10% tariff. So uncertainty is there. You don't know. Then we always hear about the Iran and US war. US is making more and more arrangements to have the war, right? The moment if the disturbances are going on, the product cost and the commodity costs are going to increase. And suddenly people get attracted to it, again it will go down. Nothing will happen. So this is all volatile, uncertain market is there. Complexity is there, ambiguity is there. Nobody can decide what is happening karke. Nobody knows what is going to happen karke. Similarly, the issue that has come up when the duties has been changed from 25 to 50%, there are a lot of challenges that have happened with the even manufacturing sector. Because you cannot sell the product into US, wherein you are fully dependent on some of the products to US. So how to do it? it is likely that somebody has to divert those products to some other countries. You have to find out the other markets to ensure that you are able to sell those products outside the regular US market. Now, develop adaptive strategies. Shift from rigid planning to flexible scenario-based approaches. What does it mean? Like, you might be doing, okay, I am having a plan like I will be selling say 100 components every month to the US entity, and that will continue for 2 years, 3 years. I don't have any problem. My plant is fully sustained. But that should not happen. It should be, you should shift the planning. You should have available market available. You should work on the other markets also and see that you are flexible enough to do that activity. Use contingency planning to prepare for multiple possible futures. If something one thing is not happening, then how do you go for the other things? If that part is not happening, can I change the part itself? Can I see that future it is not happening? Can I go to some other customers? Can I go to some other market? And then encourage rapid pivots in response to the market or environmental changes. Enhance situational awareness, invest in real-time data analytics and monitor trend and disruptions. Then maintain open communication channels with the stakeholders to gather insights and build system for early warning signals to anticipate shifts. This is very much important. Many times it happens that the management is taking some decisions, but at down the line they are not aware of it. That should not happen. Then foster organizational agility, promote the cross-functional collaboration to enable the fast decision making, build a culture that embraces experimentation and create redundancies in supply chains and operations to buffer stocks. Now, invest in emotional intelligence. This is one of the great topics which is being discussed for all the leadership right now in the industries. Emotional intelligence. So here, second level, third level team is created wherein we see that the leaders should have the self-awareness. He should know where he is, what he knows, how he behaves, what he does, how he takes the decisions. Because today see, we all have the habits. We got a mail, immediately I responded within a fraction of a second. That habit is there, but that doesn't help. You might tend to make a mistakes when you do such type of activities. So think through, take 5 minutes pause, take 10 minutes pause, then respond. The response will be better, the response will be different. And I have seen it, many people, no, ये क्या है, कुछ इसको समझना नहीं है, लिख दो उसको. Don't do that. Take a pause, understand the situation, write it. So, train the leaders in self-awareness, empathy and stress management. Everybody is stressed. See, today you ask any department, everybody is stressed. Nobody can say that he doesn't have stress because the focus is now coming at the micro level, at the plant level. So, everybody will be stressed for the deliveries, for the cost, being a competitive market. So, do a stress management wherein you should not miss on the wrong issues. Then encourage adaptive leadership that balances clarity with flexibility and use EI to build trust and psychological safety within the teams. So, emotional intelligence is very much important in any of the scenarios. Whether you are going for improvement in the processes, whether you are going to improve on the communication, whether you want to improve on the productivity, whether you want to improve on the sales and other things, everywhere you have to have those investment in the emotional intelligence to see where we are, how we do, what we do it, how we behave, how we take actions, how we support the organizations, how we motivate our teams, how we motivate our peoples. Breakdown of the complexities. This is one of the another thing which I mentioned in my earlier discussion also. Tackle the problems in small, manageable chunks rather than seeking perfect solution. There is nothing perfect. If somebody asks me, are there a perfect job? I will say no. There is nothing perfect in the world. There is no definition. There are always a room for improvement is there. So yesterday someone, I met him and he was saying, we don't have any issues in the audit. There are no audit differences were there. Auditor was very happy. I said, then there is some problem is there. If auditors should have some issues, then only nothing is perfect. Auditors should have some issues. He may not have reported, he may not have considered, but issues will be there. And unless the issues are there, he will not improve. So the second thing is there. If you say there are no issues, there is no improvement for the space. So tackle the problems. Rather than seeking solutions, avoid delays, analyzing the focus and actionable items, and align the methodologies. Now here I will give you some problem like breakdown complexity is also like in an industry when you are going for the survival, you are finding that some problems are there which you are not able to resolve the issues. Find out the alternative solution. Take a quick action, find the alternative solution, go ahead with that. Don't depend on it if it is happening again and again. If it is happening, then you need to take a decision as to how we want to do it, whether we want to produce that product or we don't want to produce it. Navigate ambiguity and experimentation. Run a small test, pilots to explore new directions. So anytime when you are going for a new product or new processes, take a test. Don't just declare it. Take a test, satisfy whether it is working, go through everything and then close it. Share learning transparently to build a collective knowledge. Again, transparency is very much required in any industry. When we are talking about transparency, it is very much required to the micro level. Even we and in our organization, what is happening at the global level, we come to know every time we have continuous town hall meetings are happening, and wherein the top leadership, owners, they are declaring how the company is going, what we are doing it, how we are behaving, what are the activities we are taking. And just take a cost measures. We have rolled out one of the action, travel to moon something. Travel to moon, right? So travel to moon. So what does it mean? Across entire, say we might have about 100 odd plants would be there. They have to update in that system what that one thing which they see will be changed or needs an improvement which will help globally for all the plants. And out of that, some projects are selected. Now those projects are again run, and the people who has put an action in that particular project, they are getting the updates on daily basis as to how we are moving on. Travel to moon something is there. I don't remember the exact phrase. But so Chandravati जायला काय करायचंय? Race to moon. Race to moon is there, wherein we are doing this activity across all global. So if we have say maybe around 20 odd thousand minimum employees will be there. So all out of those employees, anybody can participate. They can have individual guidance also. So if I know something which is working in the say, for example, I am saying the pricing process. Now, okay, if I have to do, and that too is the automation. If I have to do the pricing process automation, how it will work and how it will work globally. So that is going on. So that way, it is being continuously, leadership is working on those improvements project is going on. Now, what is the leadership mindset is required to come out of the VUCA? We should have visionary thinking, cultural competence, digital fluency, and resilience building. Resilience is very much required. Prioritize mental health, learning, community support. It is very much required because you have to work within the city, we have to work with the people and community. So community also care is required if you have to do, because community is the first to come and support you in worst cases. So community is always required to be supportive. Now, I'll go to the topic now. So, when we talk of our topic today, survival, what business needs? So, business has resources, adding value by transporting, selling for a profit, okay, and then reinvesting for a growth. So, business is anybody, entrepreneur who is doing the business, he is doing business for the purpose of investing into the growth and earning the profits. A business financial success boils down to how much profit it makes, and how much cash it invests. Because if you don't invest, you will stuck up, you will not grow. So profit has to be there. You need to generate the cash. See, you have made the profit, but the entire profit you have invested in your working capital, it will not help. You have invested in inventory, you have invested in debtors, and you have paid early, so it will go into working capital. So if you put your cash into working capital, it will not help. You will not grow. It has to invest into the future businesses. This is just the idea I have given it, like how the balance sheet, P&L, and the cash flow statement interactions are there, how the transactions are interrelated between the table. So, and how it goes, like what is revenue, what is gross profit is there, EBIT, profit before tax, after tax, and retained earnings. And then we have got the current assets, long-term assets, and liabilities. And then how it is interrelated within the statements. Just to understand the financial table, how the cash flow statements are prepared and what are the components are there. If any questions are there, then I will go into the details, otherwise I will just move. Okay. Now come back to our strategies. Now when we talk about cost management strategies for the business revival, we are talking of the shifting from reactive, panic-driven cutting to strategies. Long-term value creation, effective revival involves optimizing resource allocation, improving operational efficiency, and reducing cost without sacrificing quality or long-term growth potential. As simple. So, we have to, it should not be reactive basically. What we are saying, it should not be reactive. And it should not be panic driven. Pain will be there. Yes, that's the reason we are talking about the strategy. Now, what are the turnaround strategies? Assessment and diagnostic, crisis communication, operational restructuring. This is coming out from the operations. Then what are the crises are there, and then the assessment diagnostics is there. Then we have the strategic planning, financial restructuring, and team alignment. How do we do that? No, when we talk about operational structure, so there are 3-4 things which are there in the operations. One is there, you have to identify core and non-core activities. Now, when you talk about core activities which you want to keep it with yourself, if you give it to the third party vendors, then the competitor can manufacture those parts from them. So, core activities, you identify your core and non-core. No, make versus buy is the secondary one. After this, when you identify non-core activities, in non-core activities you should decide whether I should make or I should buy. Core activities, irrespective of anything, I want to produce within the plant because that is my IP, that is my intelligence. I don't want to give it outside, otherwise outsiders, they are ready to pick the material from the vendors and they can supply those products at much cheaper prices than me. Right? So what I will do it, I will do the core and non-core activities. Non-core activities, I will define it whether it is to make or buy. Now, by doing the make or buy decision, again we do two activities. One is we find a vendor, wherein we are talking always discussing on the variable cost only. We never talk about fixed cost because fixed cost is going to remain in the plant only if you are going to outsource it. So what you do it, those variable costs you should identify the vendor, he should be able to give you, number one. In case he is not able to provide you at the variable cost, what the second alternative? If that equipment machines which is there with us, you provide that machine to the vendor. Okay, you take this machine, you produce the goods, and you supply to us at our prices at the variable cost. So that's way that what will happen, you know? You will reduce one process, eliminate the process within the plant. Financial restructuring is related to your say AR, AP, your inventory management. See, your payable terms today it is 60 days. See, for MSME you can't do anything. You have to decide, MSME is 45 days, you cannot play with the statutory things, so you should not think of anything for the MSMEs. Other than MSMEs, you can move there from 60 to 120 days. What will happen? You will generate the cash. Okay? Number one. Number two is there, when we talk about inventory, there are two terms are like JIT. Just in time inventories are there. What you can do, you can identify a nearby warehouse service provider, ask your supplier to consign that inventory there at the warehouse, and whenever you need a material, you should pull the material from there. It will solve two problems. You don't have to carry inventory, and your payment will further get delayed. So your investment in inventory will go away, and your AP still will go delayed. Then you have to work on the customer reducing the pay terms, the customer pay terms. So that way what will happen, you will generate cash within your cash. See, going to the bank and taking loan is the easiest task. You should not be going for that. First take out whatever the issues are there within the business, what we can do. That is the best thing to do it. So that is financial restructuring. Yes. Yes. Right. See, this happens like there are two things which will happen. One thing is there the supplier which is a specific supplier is there, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice, then you will have to pay 1% extra. Company pays for it. But where you have the alternate supplier is available, he in the need of a business because of the that's the reason I taken VUCA world and other things earlier, that you know the world is volatile. And from that, because of the volatility, I have the surplus capacities I have created. Now I am not able to use it. So what I will do it, I will take a 1 rupee loss and still I will supply it. So that opportunity will be there. But if that supply is specific to your business and you cannot develop, say like for us, when we are working on the engineering products and that engineering product is going in automobile, whether it is a tractor is or car is there, in that case what happens, you cannot change overnight, you cannot change the supplier. Because development of parts with the design and drawing, because those are drawings are specific to your organization, you have to get it done, then PPAP has to be done, then you have to see that the fitting is properly working. So it may take 6 to 8 months, and sometimes it takes more than a year also. So you cannot change. Then you have to go for 1% extra. But what you are saving? You are saying two things. The suppliers nowadays they are talking of MOQs. You save on MOQs fully. You are not worried about MOQs. His supplier, he has to maintain the inventory for you. Number two is there. If there is a shift is there in the production, you can always go back and you can stop there. Like design change, complaints have come from the market. You don't have to do it. You have to get that product again refurbished or some design changes has to be done. And the third thing is there, storing that inventory. If suppose that gets rusty, you will have to just throw it out. If suppose any rework has to be done, you will incur more than the cost for the rework. So to avoid this, I will keep minimum risk with me. I will see that the supplier, so nowadays in addition to this what you are saying, even we have the requirement from the global that there are many suppliers who is supplying in India, who are from India, they are supplying to our US global plants. We had requested them to keep inventory in US warehouse and they should supply from US warehouse to the plant just in time. Now the advantage is the FX gain and loss I am coming out of it. I don't have to care, but the vendor has to suffer for that. So when you do a study, you have to see like how FX is working. Today, if I see the last year it was say 85 rupee a dollar was there. Today it is 92 is there. 8% increase has happened in the dollar. If I import it, Okay, if I import it, I have to incur an 8%. But if the supplier is maintaining inventory here, I don't care, because I will be paying in INR. So those permutation combinations are done. That helps for improving working capital. Further, the ratios, when you talk about ratios, your working capital ratio is very good. So even if you go for some funding, or if I go for some expansion or acquisitions, because nowadays for MNC it has become a normal scenario of acquisition. Like Eaton has acquired 9 billion. I heard it, Parker has also acquired 9 billion. So that way the organizations, they are just doing acquisition. That has become now a new business for the MNCs. They are just doing business. The natural growth is maybe 2%, 5%, not more than that. But inorganic growths are happening a big, because they are acquiring those companies. Number 3 is there now with the volatility. Volatility, what is happening? People are directly ready market, they are just capturing it. And just like for e-mobility also, Eaton has done those fitting, right? You can just acquire the company, put it in the growth, and you can run through the business, which is the quickest one is there. Okay. So to avoid those things, normally this happens. Okay. So and nowadays it has become like you maintain everything for us. Inventory we don't want to do. Payment terms we will give it at 120 days. So those things are normal. It's a normal business now. Huh? Yes, yes, no problem. Thank you. Yes. It will come. I have many slides are there. We'll cover first and then I'll show you. I have captured some of the references also, like Apple, how they come up, the other companies, how they have come up, and what they did it correctly. I'll cover it. Now focus on the core plus execute with cash discipline, delight. Cash discipline, I was mentioning about the cash discipline. Take it with customers, because reward happens when a business becomes financially stable. Financially stable is required, otherwise you cannot run the business. That is a must. Sharply focused and valuable again to the customer. Customer also see that you are important to them. If customer don't see you are important, then it will not work. Now we will go to the revival blueprint. Okay. One way you can do it: first 90 days, 90 to 180 days, and then 180 to 365. What do you mean? The survival. The first thing is required is survival. I should survive. I should survive. Then I should stabilize the business, and then I should grow. Now, for survival, to your question again, improve cash flow. What is required to improve cash flow? Reduce your working capital, then only it is improved. Once it is improved, you can invest it. Then cut waste and non-core cost. Now here, many of the things which is happening, even we have seen in MNCs also, the cost which is not required has been freezed. Like for example, travel. Travel is completely freezed. The first thing which is to be freezed is the travel. We stop travel, we stop trainings also many times. Only basic required trainings only we will spend on that. So those are the things which will start with the immediately when survival is important. And then stop loss making products. Think of a product, reduce the volumes. You can continue with the customer because he may ask for those products, but reduce the volumes and get it done. So stop the loss making products and the customers also. Go tell the customer and say that we doesn't make money. We doesn't get, we don't make money. You have to give the increases. So those are the things are there. And we are done, okay, for example, I'll give you, we are done in one of the product line. We had told the customer we are going to stop that production. But then they gave about 25% increase. And then we are continuing now today. We are investing also. So that way you can do that activities. Then stabilize 90 to 180 days. Fix quality and delivery issues. Your quality and delivery is the utmost requirement. If your delivery and quality is not there, no customer will come to you. And if customer is not there, whatever you do it, your business has no value. Strengthen the core processes. Again, I was mentioning of core and non-core. So you strengthen your core processes, which are critical. Focus on those. Do something differently for those core processes and improve customer satisfaction. The more the customer satisfaction is there, you will have the more orders and you will have more business. So this is the stabilization phase is there, which you can do it in 90 to 180 days. And then you can grow next 6 months, rebuild product offerings, find out which product I should be there, which product I should not be there, which I should stop, which I should continue. And then retarget the profitable customers. If you have lost it, go back to them and offer that product and start again discussing with them so that your profitability will improve. Invest in digital transformation. This is always I was talking of, and I will continue to talk because digitalization is an important need is there out there today. So invest in digital transformation and launch growth initiatives. Growth initiatives, so the profits which you are earning, you have to reinvest in the business, then only it will grow. Now, we'll get into more details. So when we talk of a stabilized cash flow, short-term survival strategy, what is the priority? Reduce or pause non-essential expenses, improve collections, reduce DSO. Renegotiate supplier terms. We will discuss all these points. Reduce slow-moving inventory and stop loss-making SKUs and services. With these points, all we discussed it. Right? Why this works? A business dies when cash runs out, not when profits are low. When cash runs out, business will not be possible. Profit is low, still you can survive. Stabilizing cash buys time to execute the revival. So cash is king. Second, refocus on the core business simplification, cut distractions, side projects, non-core offerings. Identify your most profitable customer segments, strengthen top 1 or 2 revenue drivers, and redirect talent and resources to high impact assets. Redirect talent and resources to high impact areas. Move the people, focus on those product lines where you make a profit, where you can have more customers. So in earlier slide I started with that. Profit is more important. Business is for profit and then not and the cash generation and investment. Again, I am focusing on the same thing. A business grows again when it regains the clarity of purpose. Apple cut 70% of its products. Apple, what they were manufacturing, they cut down 70% products. Lego dropped theme parks and Apple. They were manufacturing, then they remained in the those toys only. So those are the examples where there, how it has worked with them. Then improve customer value and market fit, revenue rebuild strategy. So customer revival business, not cost cut alone. So whatever cost cut is there, but your customer is not there, you cannot revive. Okay? Core actions. Improve delivery speed, reliability and communication. Fix the product service gaps customer complaint. Rebuild relationship with the key accounts and offer differential value, that is quality, speed, support and expertise. Revival requires earning back trust and making customers feel you are the best choice. Again, drill down to the customer. Operational excellence. Now what does it mean? Efficiency and strategy. Remove process bottlenecks, reduce rework, scrap and delays, improve throughput planning, boost productivity across department and introduce lean practices. So what is the process bottlenecks? Either I should do it in-house or outside. Remove it. If it is not possible, see there are many things I have seen it in some of the areas. A product is going 3 times to the vendor. It is going and coming back. I am doing something. Again sending it to second customer vendor and again coming back. Again sending it to third customer and coming back. Now instead of doing this, what you are doing? You are doing a waste. You are generating waste in terms of freight charges, people's time, product delay time, and the product life cycle. Instead of that, you go identify a supplier, get the entire up to the last stage, and then bring it directly into the factory. You will remove all the waste in the factories, and you can get direct product from outside. So those are the type of things which you can do it. Why this works? Efficient operations reduce the cost and improve the customer experience together. Then comes leadership and people alignment. This is the execution strategy. Even the past strategy fails if implementation is weak. Okay? Set clear targets weekly and monthly. establish strong governance daily hurdles and dashboards. And I'll give you this. This is very important. In our factory also, at 11:30, that's the timeline is there. Entire cross-functional team has to have stand-up meeting. That is compulsion is there. And all issues, cross-functional issues related to the production or supplies or people or anything is there that gets discussed. And then at the same time, we also look at it, what was the productivity for yesterday? Where are the bottlenecks are there? What support is required? And then immediately after that meeting, it is getting spread across and the communication is done to the respective person to ensure go and settle those so that next day those issues should not be there. So this is very critical. Okay. Then establish align teams with incentive linked to revival KPIs, improve internal communication, build a no blame. Of course, this is one of the important tasks. I think we should do it. I have seen in past when we were in the past culture, we used to blame the person. Hey, ye bande ne kar diya, ye bande ne kar diya. Don't do that. Go and see what is the process he followed and what processes make him to do like that. He is not responsible. I tell you, 99% the process is responsible. 1% he may not have understood. We may not have given the right communication, and he may not have the guidance. So 99% we should not be blaming it. It's an action-driven culture. We have to ensure that the action is taken properly. Communication is done. Okay. Revival is 50% strategy and 50% is leadership discipline. Conduct a comprehensive cost audit. Now we learn what can be done, what are the things we can do it. Okay. So we went from what is the scenario there in India. Then we went to how the VUCA world is there, how our communication leadership style should be there, then how the revival plan can be done, and now we are getting into the actual implementation of the revival plan, say. Okay, so we can say a revival plan always begins with the visibility. Actions analyze fixed versus variable cost. First thing, what are my fixed costs is there, what are variable? Now variable will be related to always to the production and everything is there. Fixed, we have to see whether do we still need those fixed costs. So we can analyze separately. Okay. Identify known value added expenses. We might be doing some contribution to one charitable institute for no reason. Okay. Can I stop it? Let me stop it. Okay. Because today, for me, my presence is important rather than doing that activities. Right? Then review vendor contracts, annual maintenance contract cost and subscriptions. Very much important with the vendor contracts. Many times it happens that vendor have a different contract and the customer has a different contracts. Many times it is happening. Customer might be asking for commodity reduction, whereas vendor is not asking for commodity reduction, and then you will end up in giving customer reduction of the cost with the reduction in the commodity, whereas vendor is continuing to charge the same cost. Okay, and then benchmark cost per unit, cost per customer, and cost per region. You can find it out how it should be there. Okay. In which region I can say what cost is going to come. And I have seen it not now. Now it is a GST is there, so we know the rates are across already same there. But when there is a VAT concept is there, you people must be knowing that VAT and CST was there. So if you are selling outside the state, that distributor used to get 4% CST. Okay. When you are selling within the Maharashtra, you used to charge say 13% VAT. Now that person who is getting C form CST of 2% or 4%, he was cross-selling within Maharashtra. Because his cost was lower than what cost the Maharashtra distributor was getting into it. So those issues come in. So you have to decide it. How you want to put the prices. See, the moment if you make a contract that you cannot cross-sell within the territories, you can decide. Still if he is doing it, you can match the prices to ensure that even if he sells, he cannot sell below these prices. So those are the things which will come across when you work out on the contracts, customer per region, and when you take those cost per customer and per region cost. Then tools to use, of course, SAP, ERP, cost center reports are there, which everybody may not have SAP, but then wherever you are using the Tally and other things, you can still generate those cost centers and reports are available. Then BI dashboards, so you continue to create those BI dashboards.
on regular basis you can get the data, and then the zero-based budgeting templates. So if you start working on zero-based, if I have to produce these goods, what all the things I need it, irrespective of what I have done it in the past, what 3 years, 4 years average or last year's average, if I take zero-based, then you will come to know, because you will come to know each and every component. And then whether do I need it or not need it. Okay, I don't need it. But today can you remove it? No, you cannot remove, because suddenly you cannot take it out. So still you will beat it, and then you will focus on those points. Once everything is done, you have started, you focus on those points, and then you start improving the things. Okay? Then you know exactly which cost to attack first. Again, this whole thing is required to know where you have to attack first. Then prioritize high impact cost reduction, 80-20 rule. 80-20 rule, so which are not very important or significant, you apply 20 rule. Which are very important, put it on priorities. Okay? Now examples are logistic and transportation. This is the biggest cost is there, and you cannot track it unless you have a proper system. And I have seen it in 90% of the businesses, they don't have right tracking mechanism for the freight cost. Ideally speaking, when you do a sales, it should track by invoice. Sales invoice, you should track the cost. Whether it is in Excel or wherever you want to, the way you want to do it, then only you will come to know what is coming as rightly. I may not be surprised even somewhere duplicates are also getting approved. Because there is no such system, I have seen it in any other organization, where the logistic cost is tracked at the particular consignment level or at the invoice level, what cost is coming and how much we are paying. Are we paying right or wrong? We don't know. So it's a big cost is there. And secondly, when you are talking of the sales prices, okay, if the sales prices are low, why do we incur this? Then you are incurring double losses. Okay. If the sales price is better, then do you want to continue with this for some time and then again start discussion of the sales price and then you say no, you reduce it. See, here one more issue is there. If you have got the delivered terms goods, in that scenario what happens, the customer when he receives the material, after that his payment cycle starts. But if it is an express, there his payment cycle will be right from your plant. Number 2 is there, the insurance and the liability is as soon as you move the goods from the plant, your liability is over. You don't have the liability, but for the customer where the delivery is there, you are liable till the goods are accepted by him. So there are changes are there. So you have to see which suits your businesses, how you want to do it. And then whatever transportation you should use it, or whether you should want to go for a contract purposes or whether you want to go for a common, whichever is there. Then energy and utilities. Energy utility is the best example. I don't know how many of the in industries also, how many of the people are looking at the HT invoices. See, it is going on years together, the same thing is going on. See, today, if I have done some transformer I have set up, I may have set up with the 2000 kVA load. I don't know, because my machines are like that. I have 200 machines are there in the plant. But over a period of time, only 100 is remained, 100 products has gone out, or I have sent it to some other plants. But the demand still remains same. Now, what MSCB does it, they will charge you 75% of the connected load. In spite of, even if you are consuming say 500 kVA and your demand connected is 2000, MSCB will charge you 1500. For no reason, you will be paying around 4-5 lakhs rupees every month. And that is happening. You can go and see any of the, surprisingly if you get any connected, go and see the company's invoice also 3-4 years or 3-4 months, and you will see what is the actual load is there, what is the connected load is there, how much has been consumed. You will find the differences. 100% I will tell you. So those are the things you have to, last year we did some changes. Annually we are saving 12 to 15 lakhs for our entity. You have done this. So it happens. Those are not even cost. Nothing is changing with that. Neither your production, nor your customer, nor your sales, nor your brand, nothing is getting affected. Those are simple costs are there. But when you are working on it, you should come to know how, you should know how to read the invoices, how where we can do the changes. So those are the things. Then manpower deployment mismatch. 90% तो भी मैं बोलूँगा, पूरा नहीं बोला तो 90% factories you go and ask them how many people are there today in the plant, they will not be able to tell you. It's a fact. It's nothing to laugh. It's a fact is there. See, even if my payroll has got 400 people, how much has come today? Nobody knows it. In which shift who are there, nobody knows it. All shift schedules are done, they are circulated to the supervisors, they are circulated to the production managers, everything is done. But on that day, do you have those many people? You don't know. Actually, it has come, are they working on those machines or they are working something else? So those challenges are there. And headcount is, even you ask HR and security also, the headcount will not match. So you need to see how the deployment is done and how the matching is being happening. Material waste or scrap. This is again an important aspect is there. Material waste or scrap, we need to monitor. There is a tight security system, tight system is to be there, wherein you should be approving, authorizing the waste, and you should be seeing each and every scrap which is happening and why it is happening that way. If it is related to the vendor, it should be recovered. If it is related to the processes, it should be improved. If it is regular scrap is there, then you should approve it. Then only you should go to the scrap yard. The other thing is, I don't want to say, but other thing is there. Scrap vendors are different. Huh? Be careful of scrap vendors. If somebody is there. Scrap vendors are not ethical. Be careful of scrap vendors. Even though security is going sitting in the vehicle, you will see that the differences are there in the weighments. All are tied up with the weigh scales. Inventory carrying cost. This I was explaining you on the inventory carrying cost. I should not be carrying the inventories. As minimum I should carry, because it leads to storage, it leads to pilferage, it leads to rust, it leads to scrap, and the capital block and everything is there. So we should have minimum inventory, whatever we can manage it here. So your goal is 20% of the cost lines usually account for 80% of the savings of potential. Yes, sir. It is applied in quantities. Yes. It is done, normally it is done everywhere. See, in the plant, if you go to the, like any bigger plants and MNCs, the methods are applied to very micro level. So their focus is there to make that plant is a world class facility only, and they count for each and everything. Even we have started now having a contract with the vendors also now. They have to maintain the inventory at their end. We will not keep it. So we give them the schedules. Based on schedules, we will bring the material to the plant. But in case the customer demand is increasing or reducing, based on customer demands, we will ask them to hold the material at their end. And whenever the demand is increasing, we are again calling that material. Those contracts are also happening. So nowadays, it's a demanding position is there. It's a bigger task for the vendors also. Okay. Optimize procurement and supplier management, consider vendors. Yes, this is one of the things there. This is again focus area is there for us also. We every quarterly meetings we ask the procurement team to confirm how many vendors has been reduced. That's the target is the key parameter is there for them for their performances. Why? Just because if you have minimum vendors, you get the quality because that vendor is also knowing if he lose one product, he will lose the entire business. So and then he is also focused on us. If you have good business is there, he will be always focused on our products also. So we will say that the consolidation of vendor is a must. Okay. Yes. Your point is valid, but Sagar, but the issue is here, we are into, say, a product which is going into machines or maybe the vehicles, and their liability, if it comes, the vendor is not going to give you any liabilities if you are routing through some third party vendor. So it is always required wherever you are done. This can be done only where your product is a bought out items are there. There you can do it, but manufactured products we should not be doing it. Yes. Yes. For traders is okay. Yeah. That will come into consideration of vendors. See, bought out items always been done, but normally I have seen it like in a majority of the manufacturing locations, they avoid the bought out parts. They want to purchase it directly from the manufacturers only. Yeah. So that's the reason is that like consolidation, the same person has to, whichever the capacities are there, he has to expand his business also. So we are helping him in expanding his business. At the same time, we are helping a minimum vendors to address, basically. Yes, that happens. Correct. Otherwise, one supplier with 1,000 quantity will not be interested for your business also, and he may ask for the prices, because ultimately, see, I am doing a business. So as good as if you see I am a 1,000 part supplier, I will see that what is my inventory carrying cost is there, what is my production cost is there, what is my running cost is there, and I will load everything to you only. Right? I am not going to pay from my pocket just for 1,000 quantities. Unless I am a trader where I am just purchasing and giving it to you. Then negotiate better, shift should cost modeling. Should cost modeling, again we have started in even the tooling also, supplier tooling also. So what should be the cost? Like if I ask the big vehicle manufacturers, I will not name it, they start like if I am saying I am supplying a gear pump, they will start with the paper and pencil. They will say, okay, how much is steel is there? Okay, 2 kg. How much is aluminum rod is there? Half kg. Then what are the springs are there? Then what are the other materials there? They will start doing it. They will put the commodity cost and then say, okay, this is your cost. So even if I have given him 2,000 rupees, he will say your cost is 1,200 only. So that is should costing. If you do the should costing, nobody will cheat you. Nobody will be able to take out money from you. So many such big OEMs who is manufacturing vehicles, they are doing should costing, and they are finding those. The other choice, okay, I am purchasing from him at 2,000 rupees a gear pump, and I am buying from him, he is giving me at 1,800. I say, oh, I have saved at 200 rupees. No. Whether 1,800 is the right figure. So I should do the should costing, then I should first negotiate. If it is not happening, then I should go for another negotiation. Explore alternative materials or secondary suppliers. This is also one of the things there. I can give one good example in our company, like we were using in a gear pump. We were using solid shaft. Okay. Instead of solid, we have then taken use a hollow one. So when you take a hollow, your cost is reduced by half because your material is reduced and it is an aluminum over there. Aluminum is costly. Now the prices are going up again. So that is reduced by 50%. So those are the things are there. You can find it out. What alternatives are there which you can do it. Okay, of course, the feed, performance, functions will not change. That will still continue as it is. So those are the things which you need to take care. Then implement e-auction, reverse auction for transparency. For transparency, you can have the e-auctions or reverse auction. This basically we are not doing only for scrap, I think so. But you can do it for all products also. Ask them to quote what at what prices. But those will be feasible where the products are not tailor-made. Tailor-made means if it is your design and drawings are there this may not be possible. But where you are buying a bought out items, there it is possible. You can do that. So procurement saving as a percentage of sale. This target is always there. We are giving a 3% target is there in our factory. We are giving to the purchasing team that their target for this year is whatever they spend, they are going to do, 3% they have to save. Whatever means is there are alternate source, finding out the solutions, so that is their job to do it. Yeah, so what we do it like whatever we achieved it, we increase the target, that's all. So what we achieved every year we used to see it, correct? And then we increase it. Now in incremental, they definitely the procurement team will come. This much is my intercompany purchase, I cannot say anything. This is even though this is my water titles are there. We said no, you have to find out a way to do it. And I tell you the best thing which has happened. In intercompany also, 3 plants were manufacturing the same part. And 3 plants I got a different cost. I changed the source. You save the money for you. Though it is within intercompany. But some intercompany might have high fixed cost, some may have lower fixed cost. I will purchase from lower fixed cost, why should I go for higher fixed cost? It will save my money also. I will be saving on imports, I will be saving on duties and other things also, effects also. So those type of things you have to find out a way to do it. Improve on working capital efficiencies, again, reduce DSO, tighten the credit policy and incentivize early payments. Inventory, ABC analysis, reduce day stocks, JIT we discussed, JIT and lean stocking, and in payables, extend payables DPO without harming supplier relations. Outcome, more cash available for operation. Right? Streamline operations and reduce waste, lean, value stream mapping. This we were discussing on value stream mapping. Here, the production process entirely has been mapped into the circle, and we see that which is required, which is not required, and we can reduce the. When you do a value stream mapping, you will come to know there may be a lot of wastage will be there in entire process of manufacturing of the products. Remove that which is not required. Okay, reduce changeover time. That's what I mentioned. 3 times if it is going and coming, instead of or I am producing one product on one machine and then changing it to other product, same product on another machine, again bringing it back to the same machine doesn't work for me because changeover time is changing, and then you lose all the total available hours and your efficiency and productivity. Don't do changeover time, reduce it. Eliminate the process and bottlenecks. Monitor OE, overall equipment effectiveness. OE is to be there. Then lower energy consumption through scheduling. Okay. Result is higher output at lower cost. Digitization and automation. Automate standard finance tasks, APR reconciliations. Implement IoT sensors for energy and machine health. Use workflow tools for approvals. Automate sales order and dispatch processes. Reduce errors, manpower savings, and faster tech time. Optimize workforce cost without layoffs. Again, somebody has asked whether the workers will be laid off. So we are saying no. That is not the criteria anywhere in the industry. We don't talk of layoffs unless we are run out of the cash. Otherwise, there is no layoff. Redeploy underutilized staff. Cross training to reduce dependency. Multitasking. We are talking about multitasking. The same product, multiple people are available in the plant, and we have the rotation processes. The same labor can do on one machine, he can do on another machine. Rotation will be there. So multitasking is created. One person is not available, another person can work for it. Variable pay linked to the business recovery. Controlled overtime. Outsourcing of non-core jobs. Overtime itself, if somebody asks me, I will say we should not go for overtime anywhere. And for our plant, since 2020, we have zero overtime. We are not paying any overtime. There is no overtime for us. Not even 1 hour. So that way we have planned it. Because the moment you start overtime, then there is no end. So we said there is no overtime. You have to finish the work within your defined timeline and you have to go. That's simple. Fixed cost, restructuring, renegotiate rent, sublet unused space. If you are having a big space and if you don't want to use it, or you can sublet it. Refinance high interest loans. That's another way is there. This also comes under your finance restructuring, where you can refinance high interest loans. Dispose or lease idle assets. You can dispose or lease idle assets and review insurance plans. A lighter, more flexible cost structure. You will see a lot savings here also, both the places. Either you dispose it off or you lease it out outside and then you review the insurance plans, you will save a lot of cost there. Price and product mix optimization. We were talking about the sales revenue. So focus on high margin products, bundle slow moving items. So what you can do it, okay, and then adjust the pricing where feasible, charge from premium services for faster deliveries, and relook discount policies, contribution margin per product line. So this is a very important task which is impacting a lot of businesses. And I'll give you a simple example. It has changed. When we talk of a charge for premium or maybe adjust pricing where feasible, what we have done it, we had the customer contracts, we have put the FX clause. So when a part has been supplied to a customer, we say that your part contains 70% import cost or 60% import cost. And the rate at which we are supplying, say $76. Today, if dollar is 92, you can ask for 76 to 92 increase. That 16 rupees increase with the percentage of 60%, customer will pay for it because it is in the agreement. So we have done those agreements with the supplier customers, linked to the FX clauses. So that way you can earn. Otherwise, what would have happened? That 60% increase in prices from 76 to 92, whatever the cost we have incurred, that particular cost would have been an additional cost for us. So you should have adjusted the pricing wherever feasible, make a contract like that with the customers itself. Even if it is not there, at a point you start doing it. Since it is an important country is there, these are the price, this is applicability, agree to it, customer will also agree. Relook at the discount policies. Here, you can do it differently also. You can make some scheme, sales policy scheme also you can roll it out. And that scheme, how you can do it, you can say, okay, you have to purchase this value of material. You have to make the payment in this number of days. And then you will get this much discount at the end of year. So what happens, throughout the year, customer will take that much material. He will pay you in time, and at the year end you can give the discount to them. That will improve your cash flow also, that will improve your cost position also, and the same you are passing on to the customers. And that you see, and then even in the payment terms, if you say like, okay, you should take minimum 5 crores of revenue, your order should be there, your OPEX should be there, and your pay terms say 45 days is there. More than 95% of your payment should be received in 45 days. If you make that contract, otherwise you are not eligible for the incentive. And then you give 1% or 2% incentive after 1 year. So entire 1 year, your cash flow in business is settled. Right? And then you go on doing the businesses. The moment he achieves more than 95%, you give 1%, 2% discount, that's okay. Because you have used that cash flow, what alternative method you have done it, your high yield loan was there, high interest loan, right? High interest loan, you will not utilize it. rather than you will utilize your cash flow, your own money. So that savings which you are coming on, you are passing on to the customer by way of a business. So you are securing business and you are also at the same time securing cash working capital also. So you should come up with such ideas to have a contact with the customers that will help you. Then come build a continuous cost control culture, wherein monthly review of dashboards, department wise cost accountability, cost awareness and training. You provide multiple trainings to the people. If they are not listening, they train it. They'll come to know after 2 trainings, 3 trainings, they'll come to know how it impacts. Show them the impact. What has happened, what will be the impact. If you are doing like this will be the impact. Then they will come up. Okay. And then incentivize for the cost saving ideas and zero-based budgeting every quarter. In addition to the annual targets, you do your forecasting. While forecasting, you do a zero budgeting. Again, understand what is going wrong, what is right, whether whatever the plans are there, it is working or it is not working. Strengthen the financial foundation so operations can survive. Renegotiate loan terms, interest rates, and repayment timelines. Then convert short-term debt to the long-term so that you have the cash and you don't have to pay it again and again. Cash will remain with you. Okay. Then improve cash flow forecasting, 13-week cash flow. Reduce non-essential capex and dispose of idle or non-productive assets. Keep it lean. So lower pressure on the cash and banking lines. Then cost optimization without damaging the core operations. Reduce material wastage, optimize manpower, renegotiate vendor contracts, improve energy efficiency, eliminate loss-making products. Simple things are there, it's not rocket science. When you go into the details, you should be able to do it. Strategies. Now, how you will do it, karke? Retarget the profitable customer, improve pricing discipline, launch bundles, combos, or refresh products. That's what I was mentioning. You can have something like that. Some policies you can come up with it. Expand into adjacent market, expand your market, and strengthen after sales servicing and cross selling. The moment you increase this sales service, definitely you will have an improvement. And if you do the cross selling, that also will help. Have a distribution business. One is if you are into OEM businesses, go to the distributors. Distributor will stock on behalf of you, as well as they always pay much higher than price than the OEMs. So that's the 2 advantages are there. Whenever go, they will, and if they are earning a good profit, they will put your products for the sale rather than competitors' products. So always have it. Now, even in Eaton, I have seen it like they have the incentive plan for the valves, engine valves, for the distributor. See, the package is there. Okay. So they have the plan like the material goes from factory to the wholesalers. From wholesalers, it goes to the retailers. From retailers, it goes to the mechanics. Now, mechanic, if you bring that cardboard of the box back to the retailer or wholesaler, he will get some money. Purpose, the 2 purposes are there. One is you come to know in which market your products are selling. Number 2, how much your material is there in the market and which market you can target. And this, I used to do it in 2013 somewhere. I used to do it when I was there in automotive. So that way, you can generate some different ideas. So you know where the customers are there, who is doing it, where the material is going, where it is getting sold off, which these mechanics are there, who is using your material. Because what we are asking is the box, which is the packing box, single packing box is there, which is used for the refurbishment. That box carded you when you are calling it back, you are using actually that which material is going into the market. Another thing, it has got the date. So you will come to know which dated material is getting consumed. So how much material I have shipped it, whether still there is a stock is there in the market. You will come to know everything. It's an analysis you have to do it. So those are the things are there. You have to come up with ideas related to the products. Unblocking cash, reduce inventory, ABC and FS analysis, implement strict credit control, accelerate receivable incentives, switch to GIT, procurement of key materials, and increase payables days without hurting to the suppliers. Same thing. Lean, remove bottlenecks, improve OE, reduce work, standardize the processes, and is customer centric, improve delivery. See, delivery is very much important from the customer side. If you have to remain with the customer, delivery is very much important, is there for them. Provide value-added services, rebuild account relationship, implement net promoter score, and then offer flexible payment or loyalty program. So I was talking about loyalty program. That incentives which I was talking of is the loyalty program. Product and market portfolio rationalization, focus on resources where the returns are highest. Identify high margin, exit loss-making lines, introduce premium differential offerings, explore differential digital channels, benchmark competitors for the price value. This is also important. You have to increase your value, then you have to benchmark the competitors also. And then digital transformation, I think already we have discussed it. Organization restructuring, redesign org chart for the speed and accountability, introduce performance linked incentive, upskill employees for multitasking, improve management cadence, daily weekly reviews, and build a culture of ownership, not hierarchy. He should own it. He should say, yes, my business is there. It is my product is there. I am doing it. This is my responsibility. Do that. So once the ownership is there, then he will do it. When the ownership will come, he should be motivated. He should be skilled. Then only the ownership will be there. So outcome is high performance agile team. Their leadership and change management, clear communication of revival roadmap, transparent and realistic targets, quick wins to rebuild confidence, celebrate success. This is very much important. In industry, whenever small issues are there, success are there, please celebrate. People will get motivated. They will see pride. They will say, yes, we are considered as a team. They will so they will give more output. They will work much better than what they were doing it. So this is very much important, which we have seen it, and then empower leaders at every level. Don't try to do a micromanagement. Empower them. You have set the processes. You have put the controls in place. Empower the people to take the decision and do the activities. At the same time, in any case, it is going to come to you when you are doing the reviews. This will get highlighted. And any issues are there, it can be corrected quickly. So empower the people to take the decisions. External support and partnership. So you can do a strategic alliance. I mentioned about the distribution partnership. So appoint distributors, outsourcing of non-core activities, we discussed it. Government schemes, subsidies and incentives. This is one of the important things. I think as a cost management, I am not sure whether right now it is there in our course or not there. But somewhere we need to see those things also coming in. Basically, I was focusing on the customs part. See, like for Maharashtra, if you see today, there is a Maharashtra government scheme of incentives are there, wherein if you go for DED plus on other zones, if you establish a factory, you get the incentives. Number one. Number two is there, when you go for the exports or imports, many schemes are there. So there somewhere I think we need to focus on those, because that adds a lot value. It is indirect addition is there to the profitability. That doesn't come into your sales purchase contracts, nowhere it gets reflected. But those helps you. See, like the moment you export it, on FOB value you get some drawback. Maybe around 1.75, 1.8, whichever is government is defined, you get hard money into your bank accounts. You will get road test scheme is there. Revision of duties. That scheme is there, 1% scrip you are getting it. Number 3 is there if your imports are there and you are doing an exports. So you are liable to get the duty refund. That process is available. You should go and avail those facilities. Then EPCG is there, export promotion, you don't have to pay the duty. See, there may not be benefit. See, in EPCG if you go today, there is no benefit. But I still see as a benefit. Why? Because my cash flow is improving. I don't have to pay for the GST and the custom duty both. Okay? And at the same time, my cash flow is improving, but at the same time, I am supposed to do the exports. It is not adding any pressure to me. I am doing exports. The same product and I can continue to do the exports. So those are the things which is adding every day. We should go and see what other benefits we can take from the scheme. So, and then apart from this, many contracts are getting entered between the, you must be hearing like EU, we have done the contract, right? FTA is there. In Japan, we have FTA is there. In Korea, we have FTA is there. You know, in Korea, from Korea, if you are importing the products and if you are submitting the required certificate of origin, there is no duty on certain products and there is less duty on certain products. Now, if you don't submit it, you have to pay full duties. Similar condition is there with the Japan also. Now, unless this is known to us or unless we get into those issues, we will not come to know and we will be losing, and it's not a small amount. On purchase value, it may be minimum duty, even if you take it is 7.5% plus SWS if I take, it will be 8.3%. So I will be saving state 8.3% cost of the material by doing these activities. So those are the activities I think we should see that will improve our margins indirectly. So then this is what incentives I was talking of, and the government schemes are there. So there is power duty schemes, exemption duty schemes are there. Then you get the GST refund also is there. So now if you go for say we are going to Telugu, so the duty GST what we are paying on the material which we are selling within Maharashtra, the entire GST credit will come. That's a different thing. It is refundable as an incentive. So we will be getting entire GST benefit for those areas. So those are the issues which we should always see it, because that has nothing to do with your business. Your business is still going to continue, but you should avail those benefits. And if it is an MSME is there, then MSME there are lot many programs are there. Government is running with lot many programs, including 45 days payment. That is one thing. Apart from there are many programs are there. You can go and take advantage wherein even low rate of interest is also there applicable. So go and see what are the schemes are available, what are the subsidies are available, and incentives are available. Okay. Then expert turnaround consultants. Just see if you need, you have to hire some consultant, then look at those consultants also. So basically, faster recovery with lower risk. Here, you don't have anything extra. Long-term sustainability and growth plan. Focus areas, innovation pipeline, new market entries, digital first customer experience, balanced capex plan, and strong governance and control. This is also must. Governance has to be there while doing entire activities. My target is to improve the profit, not at the cost of governance or controls or statutory. Statutory, we should not be anything. We should not be doing it non-statutory. We should go and do all statutory requirements in full, irrespective of whether we are earning or not. This is a must because it has a lot many consequences than doing the business or carrying the business. It is better if I am not able to fulfill the statutory requirement, better to close the business. I will say that. So ensure that do some capex plan and then go into the new market entry and then start innovating the things, start innovating the product, start doing it instead of doing 6 processes within the plant, bring it the 6th one process directly from vendor so that you are reducing and making a organization lean. Summary, focus areas we say visibility, cost audit, zero based budgeting strategy, outcome, it will be identifying waste. Procurement, vendor negotiation and reactions, you have direct savings. Operations, lean and waste reduction, higher efficiency. Working capital, DSO, days sales outstanding, DSO. Inventory, DPO is days payable outstanding, optimization and better cash flow. Digitization, automation and analytics, lower long-term cost. Workforce, redeployment, cross-selling, cross-skilling, maintain capability. Fixed cost, rent, AMC, asset disposal, which are non-value. So you can see it, and then structural things also, savings can come, and revenue mix, pricing and product profitability, and higher margins. I think this covers the entire structure as such, which we can implement. Okay, now coming back to the summary, revolve strategies across these success stories I just shared with you. Refocusing the core, ample Apple simplified the product line. Lego returned to core bricks. Innovation and new product strategy, Apple, iMac and iPod, Nvidia, AI. BYD, this is now battery cars now, it is China's largest manufacturer of cars is there, right? Then financial discipline and restructuring, IBM services shift is there, and FedEx is the emergency funding. Customer centric, Netflix, streaming model, they went to streaming model, and then Lego is a fan engagement. And leadership reinvention, Steve Jobs Apple, Louis Gerstner IBM, and Alan Mulally Ford. Now we'll go for the individual one. Now Apple from near bankruptcy to $1 trillion company. So the crisis happened in '97, where Apple was losing $1 billion per year and more than 40 unfocused products, and was just 90 days from running out of cash. We will say that the cash is king, right? Actions taken. Steve Jobs retired as CEO, cut 70% of the product line, focus on a big bets, secured $150 million Microsoft partnership, and launched the products. Result, moved from near collapse to posting $309 million profit in a year. Lego, same story, 2003, $800 million in debt, with declining sales due to failed expansions, and theme parks, apparel, video games, so they come out of everything. So they went into Lego bricks, cut and profitable ventures, I think the same what we discussed earlier, launched Lego ideas and overall the supply chain products. IBM, 90s IBM suffered a huge loss as a dying giant unable to adapt to the personal computing. So what they did, shifted IBM from hardware to services and software. Okay? Cut bureaucracy and change the culture, people management. Reorganized into a more customer centric. Same, the points which we had discussed earlier, it is all the same thing is there. Same thing is FedEx. In some years, FedEx was drowning in debt and was left with only $5,000 in company funds. What they did is, turned it into $27,000, enough to keep plants fueled, and raised an additional $1 million financing, and they become a $1 billion company in revenue now in 10 years. BYD from battery maker to global EV leader. This you know it already. Now they are competing with the Tesla in the cost perspective. Then Netflix reinventing itself, DVD streaming, and then Nvidia is the volatile GPU maker to most valuable company now. So what they did, they are into AI. Now these are some of the quotes. I have just kept it at the last because we talked about lot about the people management, the office, the work, production controls, and the processes. These some of the quotes, if you go through it, it will give you some thought process. Like if you want to work fast, work alone. If you have to work fast, you have to work alone. But if you want to work far, work together. So it is a short term and long term. If you have to work as a team, then you can work for the far. Then none can destroy iron. But its own rust can likewise, none can destroy a person but their own mindset. If your mindset is not proper, you will destroy yourself. Okay? Nobody will destroy you. Okay? Take the stones people throw at you and use them to build a monument. Ups and downs in the life are very important to keep us going because straight line even in ECG means we are dead. Ups and downs will continue. It will be a daily part of routine life is there. Okay? The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing quickly, the only strategy is guaranteed to fail is not taking risk. If you don't take the risk, you will fail it. One day you will realize that material things mean nothing. All it matters is well-being of the people you love. You have to love people like you are working with the team, you are working with the environment. Leadership is not about being in charge. It is not being in charge, it is about taking care of those in your charge. Who is working with you, you have to take care, is the leadership, not that you are in charge. And I don't believe in work-life balances. Many people are talking about work-life balance. Many times we hear this statement also. But then I believe in work like integration. It's job, you have to do it, but how you manage is more important. Challenges are there, stress is there. How you manage challenge, how you manage stress, how you manage property, how you manage product is more important for me rather than getting stressed out. So I should integrate. How do I do that? How do I improve it? Thank you. Any questions? See, I tell you like my one example if I give you, when I joined here in the plant, our operating profit was around 4%. Today it is 18-20% is there. How? Because I think I have gone through all the items, right from the revenue to the expenses out to the budgeting schemes and other things. So I know in detail, I have run through this. So definitely, if you go through it, I think the presentation I have already shared with him. So if you want to get into it, definitely it will help you. Think of it anytime. If you need any help, let me know. If any questions are there, I am happy to answer it. Hope it was not very fast. It is helpful for all you. It's helpful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for listening quietly. Now, any questions are there? I am happy to take any questions. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's true. If you reduce the number of vendors, you are always likely to create a problem. Suppose that vendor has some management changes or some people changes are happening, you will end up in a problem, right? So the how it is handled at the business level now when such type of activities are done. So there is a proper what I say evaluation of the vendor is being done. And there are third-party evaluation is also done when we are getting into any of the vendors. And it is having a cost. It is not also free cost because third party is doing that vendor. And we have our team. So like when we talk of any industry, you have a procurement team, you have a vendor development team, you have a supply chain team. So these three teams are there. Now what happens? The development, product development team, they will work with the procurement team. They will work with the supplier, they identify product and they will freeze the product with them. Now the vendor development team, they will have their own checklist and they will get independent survey, independent analysis. And when the products are coming, the supply chain, once this setup is done by vendor development has okayed it, it will go to the procurement team. Procurement will bring the product. All the testing and other things are done and he has been established. After that has been done, then it is handed over to the supply chain team. And supply chain team is on daily routine, they are into touch with them. The moment you get any quality issues, because when the material is coming to the plant, you get any quality issues, the development team, supply development team immediately visits that supplier. So that way, directly or indirectly, that's supplier is a part of our team only. So that way the cross check, but your question is valid. We had experienced this in one of the cases. But what happens then, when we are adding the products to that supplier, he has fulfilled over a period of 2 years, 3 years, he has given consistent quality and timely products. So that he has established first. Suddenly we will not go and change. Okay, अभी तो सप्लाई करेंगे ये तीनों तुम दे दो करके. We don't do like that करके. We go step by step. So that way we ensure only the good suppliers we keep it. Otherwise we also have a plan like if on a monthly basis we review the supplier DPM. So defective parts per millions. Those when we review it, if it consistently coming in, we have some 80 programs are there, so they have to fill in 80 and provide us the data. Okay, these are the failure reasons are there, these are the corrective actions that have been taken. But if it again happens, then it starts the supplier exit program also. So the way we add supplier, we exit supplier also. So that continues. It's a routine process. It's not a one process. You establish and then it will continue. That doesn't happen. Yeah. So when we talk of should be cost is the vendor cost only. So when we take about should be cost starts from zero based budgeting, a type of zero based budgeting only. So a particular part is there. Okay. So pump base comes. Suppose for example any pump base comes. Now pump you have to open it at your place. You bring the pump at your location. You open it completely and see which are the materials are used, how much quantity is there, what sizes are there. Everything you should do the study and then see how much time it will take, what type of cost will be there, and you should do a should cost. After doing a should cost, it may be a lowest one, right? So between the should cost and the supplier cost, somewhere you have to agree. Tear down approach is always there when you are setting up a product. So what happens like that product will continue with you, right? So once you are done the tear down cost, you know the product and you know the item which is included in that particular product. It's easy. So suppose that tomorrow your copper prices are changing group high. Okay, so supplier may come and he will tell you that my copper prices increased by 20%, you give me 20% increase. You have to tell the boss it has got 10 grams only. So 10 grams 20% I need to pay you. Right? So for that tear down is required. And then you should have those details. It is a double rate. Government rule is double rate. Yeah. Yes. So that's the reason we are not paying. I said last 5 years, last 6 years maybe rather now. 6 years we have zero overtime. We don't pay zero overtime. Rather what we prefer is we add the NAPs or temporary contractuals who can do a job of supporting and getting it done on the product. Like suppose kariye, movement of the material, the same person is to do the movement of material and production is not coming and the machine bottleneck is there. So one is that we will try to remove the bottlenecks in the machine. Still, if the handling is an issue is there, we will provide an additional person who can work on that machine. So that your cost is getting down. But avoid overtime, always avoid overtime, it doesn't make sense. If it is started, then there is no end. And specifically when you have different type of labor categories are available in the plant, then you have to forget that overtime. Yes. No, that will be there. Okay. That's the reason this MSME law came in between, because even the suppliers, small suppliers were suffering. And the tendency, normal tendency is there in any industry, they will not pay below 120 days. And that's the reason the MSME rule came in between. And then they started, even though this rule is there, still I will be saying around 80% suppliers, these companies are only paying 45. Otherwise, the MSME vendor as such is at the receiving end, he doesn't have any problem. He has to accept those 50 days and 60 days also. Because the moment he will ask for the interest, he will lose the business. Yes. See, supplier reduction target is also out of 300 and say I will say 350 suppliers are there. The target will be around 3 to 5%, not more than that. So you are in the year 10, and that too, what happens during the year last year, you would have come across many situations wherein the supplier issues are there and it is not getting addressed. So what you will try to do it, those suppliers who are not supplying as per the quality in spite of repeated demands, then you don't have any choice, you have to move some other supplier. So while moving to other suppliers, instead of going for a new supplier, you go to the existing one and develop there. So instead of developing with the supplier, you develop with the existing supplier. Mm-hmm. No, see, I think what we discussed is if it is a just-in-time is there. Okay, he is maintaining the warehouse near my plant. Okay, now here a supplier is there, say in Kolhapur, say I have to bring that material from there to here. Okay, I will be incurring the transportation cost. So I have to add the transportation cost into his material. Then there will be a lead time. Then third thing will be there, I have to keep the stock in my plant. So all these things, what you have to do, you have to calculate the inventory carrying cost also and damage cost also. And then you have to do the analysis, and then you have to decide whether you want to purchase at little higher rate or you want to purchase from there. Because in any case, even if it is my business is there, and if you ask me, you supply me at the doorstep, I will definitely incur the additional cost in terms of warehousing and delivery also. Because what happens, it is not only warehousing. I can invoice from the Kolhapur, the material can come, the transportation is increasing, that is one thing. Secondly, the person warehouse, he will receive it, he will keep, storage will be there. So there will be a racking cost is there, storage cost is there, his people cost will be there. So those costs in any case will be an additional cost will be there for him. So instead of that cost it will get, in any case it is added. So whether he is adding or I am doing in the plant. See, today you are seeing 1800 to 1800, but you are incurring all those costs in the plant also. So what you are doing it, your internal cost you are moving into the external cost. You are not paying extra. It looks like you are paying extra, but you are not paying extra. It is internal cost you are uploading to external one. But that way you are resolving yourself from the headache of maintaining inventories, ordering level, everything. That he has to manage it. Everything he will manage it. I don't have to worry about anything. Now in insurance also there is an insurance is there. I will just give an example, like many of the old age insurance people still take that money insurance when we take, there is a stock policy is there, stock turnover policy. Now when you buy a stock turnover policy, irrespective of what you are buying from where, entire world it can come into that, you don't have to bother on any inputs. Number one. Number two, you don't have to give any declaration to the insurance companies. So those are the types of things you should evaluate in doing the insurance, because then automatically entire input is covered, including your plant and machinery, including your plant and machinery movement, your subcontracting movement, everything gets covered if you go for the stock policy. But if you go to the old age or marine policy, then it covers your every time you give your declaration. And then you need to keep the record, and those are not required now. So you have to think through which policy I should go and how should I do it. Cost wise there is no big difference. Thank you.
So good evening everyone. On behalf of managing committee, all the members and students of Pimpri-Chinchwad Auto chapter, it is my privilege to propose vote of thanks to CMA Vinod Patodia sir. Sir, we are very grateful to have you as a esteemed speaker today evening for the wonderful insights on the subject topic. Sir, you have shared with all of us the best practices of return and DenFast, which you have acquired over the years. And sir has shared almost all restructuring aspects, be it financials, be it marketing, be it product restructuring, be it customer negotiations, supplier negotiations, be it your day-to-day operational re-engineering. So, sir, thank you very much. And we all have received very insightful knowledge from you, and we will get with touch with you, sir, whenever we require additional information. Thank you very much.